that you could have hoped for. But if you'd held on a little longer, you'd have had more reasons to be proud. So many questions, but I'm talking to myself. I know that you can't hear me anymore, not anymore. So much to tell you, and most of all goodbye, but I know that you can't hear me anymore. It's so loud inside my head, with words that I should have said as I drown in my regrets. I can't take back the words no longer I stand here, louder the silence. I know that you're gone, but sometimes I swear that I hear your voice where the wind blows. So I talk to the shadows, hoping you might be listening, 'cause I want you to know it's so loud inside my head, with words that I should have said as I drown in my regrets. I can't take back the words I never said, never said. I can't take back the words I never said, never said. I can't take back the words I never said.
It's time. Show them.
What is up, everyone?
Welcome.
We are officially in the mid-game. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it's quarterfinal. We're not using rounds off anymore.
Yep. Just want to say congratulations to every player that has advanced in round of 16. We are gonna approach quarterfinals now. So
And with that, we'll be doing how do you call it? The difficulty bump, an increase in difficulty. How should we phrase it? Sounds good.
big difficulty increase. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
From now on, the maps will no longer be easy. The maps are gonna be a little bit tough. We are now approaching to a match where players have to win 5 points to, win the match. And
First
so
to
this
5.
is,
Yes.
yeah. It is now gonna be best of 11. Is it? Wait, no, it's not. Best of 9. My bad.
Yep.
So, without further ado, let's begin our quarterfinals Mappool showcase. That is not a map. That is not.
That is the Osu screen. I guess we're waiting. Yep. With Rice 1. Bad for me.
This is. Also need to know that this pool will have 5 rice in total. So this is rice 1, which is still our generic rice, I would say.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Alright, we can start now.
You look at the star rating, you already see there's quite a big increase.
Compared to even round of 16 tiebreaker.
Starting off really strong with 2.97 star. Bad for me.
Starting off with
Except it's 3 minutes again.
Yep. This is also a kind of quote-unquote stamina. But consistency is kind of like that.
We are seeing the BPM being quite higher compared to round of 16 price one. 200 BPM, and these jacks we are seeing some fast jacks and slow streams here. There are some 200 BPM bursts too. So like this map is definitely more denser than you think it is. Like these doubles constantly coming make the map quite dense to hit, and if you're not too comfortable with fast or dense patterns like this is going to be quite scary.
Actually, I think I'm having a slight problem with the stream.
No, it's not just you, it's fine. I think this is the second KI now. We are like, you can see more of these like 200 BPM bursts that makes like just to make the map difficult.
It'll test not only your consistency but also your ability to do jacks and hold it for the whole song basically.
Right. This is what we are gonna approach the final part now. Like these 200 BPM streams are no joke. Those bursts are really fast compared to round 16. We are definitely seeing a big ramp up in difficulty, and I can see more players missing these patterns.
We're no longer seeing a really high 99 score. This is probably the point where a lot of exchange will happen.
Yeah, especially when the map is quite long as well. Misses can happen due to either nerfs or lack of consistency from players. So you need to be careful of that. And the map is gonna approach its ending. Let me remind you, this one is 3 minutes.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. But again, with how dense it is compared to other rounds, and the fact that it's being 3 minutes, will definitely choke a lot more than Rice 1 round of 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Rice 1 round of 16 is also 3 minutes, but compared to if you compare the density, this is miles harder and denser. So
Yeah,
that's
very true.
That is gonna be our Rice 1. Let's move on to Rice 2, which is our more stream Rice, which would be Celestial
Stream.
Horizon.
Alright, we can start now.
Again, we are seeing like basically 3-star maps now. 200 BPM once again. This map is not as long though. Only 7.5.
But the sight of
So,
seeing
like,
2.99, basically 3-star, might be a bit scary.
I would say this map is more. There's a lot of breaks in this part. So it's the two key eyes that are mainly difficult in this map. But then the breaks are just for you to, you know, chill a little bit and then try to gain ag. Yeah, look at these streams.
We're moving on to a more proper stream now, where you need to be careful.
But yeah, like these are some little bursts of streams here, but that was a long stream there. Like, look at that. Oh, there's more actually. So like you definitely need to be careful.
Another 200 BPM, I just noticed that actually.
Yeah. Although the streams might seem really intimidating, it is only a single row. That means like there's not really overlaps. It's just the same. Like it's more like a jump through, but it's slow. Like really slow, and it's a row. It's what do you call it?
I'm also not sure. Okay, we're going to break before the last key eye, I believe. But this is also where the difficulty ramps up.
We're gonna go on to this last part now. Look at these
And that is a
row
straight
streams.
stream.
Look at that.
This straight up stream.
You should expect this Mappool to be a little bit harder than qualifiers now. That was a lot of streams, and there's another one. But with that, the map is gonna end with just this many 200 BPM stream as kind of bursts, but that is gonna make the map quite difficult. And that is gonna be our Rise 2.
Rise 2. Now we can move on to Rise 3.
Running in the 90s, imagine.
A song that a lot of you might know, or definitely know. It's very known. Okay, I think we can start now. This is the mixed rice pick. Also, if you notice, compared to last rounds, the classification of rice, hybrid, and other skill set are slightly different because of the amount of rice, LN, and hybrids here.
Yeah. But they actually have a little bit of LN section here, but it's not nothing too special,
bad.
so yeah.
We can call the mix also mixed with LN a little bit.
If you see that in round of 64, it might matter, but now we expect players to be able to hit them fairly well, I would say. So
We
like,
trust the players more now to handle with multiple style of skill set, even in strict rice or LN.
this is our mixed price, by the way. Like you can see some jags. Okay, these are a little bit LNs, but you know it's nothing too big of a deal. You see some of those double to single mag pattern into some of these stream bursts. This is what we call a mixed rice. That it's mixed with both rice and stream mostly.
Mainly jack and stream. Also a proper 3-note jack just before.
Yeah. Like these stream bursts are what's making the map quite difficult in the key eye.
But
The
it is
streams
pretty
are
short. It is
pretty
it's short.
fast. Actually, it's not too fast, but it's pretty scary.
Oh yeah. 158 BPM. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem.
But yeah, that is gonna be our our rice free mixed pick. Let's go on to our rice 4, which is our tech.
Pick.
Death piano.
Very, very scary name. Okay, we can start now.
OD is not that scary, but this is tech. So like, expect a little bit more weird snapping or weird bursts kind of thing. Yeah, and as you can see, those are definitely not consistent snapping streams.
Yeah. It might trip off some players. In the beginning, it's only like 1/4 and 1/6, but it is mixed up, so it might throw off some players.
I'm seeing a lot of 1-4 streams with 1-3 streams alternating. Like, oh yeah, these piano sounds, man. Really
Yeah.
scary. And here we go. Like, look at these 1-3 transitioning to 1-4 and then back to 1-3 is just quite tough.
Yeah.
Like some of these like random 1-4 bursts coming in from that 1-3 section, like if you're not careful, like that is your act gone in the blink of an eye. Like look at these streams.
Especially using Score V2, it's very strict about AC and ratio.
You definitely need to be careful. But that was a lot of jacks.
Green out anchor.
Those were what you call a long jack or an anchor. Those are not easy to hit if you're not prepared for sure. We're into a little bit of a break now, but even this break has some sort of streams in it.
Especially with the maps being 2 minutes and 46 seconds, it's definitely not short. It's more on the higher end, so
For sure. 2.8 star, it's a little bit lower compared to Rice 1 and 2, but because of how complex the snapping is, at least more complex compared to the first 2 maps, this is quite difficult in my opinion. Probably harder than Rice 2 or Rice 1 as well, but it really depends on your
especially
playstyle, I guess.
that jump trail. Ooh.
That roll was also quite tough, but we are into more of a jack and then stream section.
We're closing in though.
And final 1-4, 1-3, 1-4? I think it's 1-4.
I have no idea.
Like this song consists of a lot of interesting snapping and interesting rhythm. So like just understand the rhythm somehow, I don't know. But yeah. That is gonna be Rice 4, and Rice 5 is actually gonna be our jack pick, which means this is gonna be basically just jacks. And Rice 5 is actually gonna be a custom map.
Yes, our first Jack skill set pick.
And it's gonna be custom. Imagine. Welcome to our Jack pick.
Yep, that's a jack. All right.
This is a very interesting start to introduce a Jack map. This map is 2.96 star ODA 2 minutes Usagi flat map by Kita.
A decently tough map actually. There's quite a few triple and combined with double. It can definitely trip a lot of players off if they don't like Jack in particular.
For sure. A lot of triples in this map are introduced. So that is gonna conclude
Rice pick.
our Rice 5 and also our last Rice pick. Let's move on to our LN. And now we will have two LNs, keep in mind. This is LN1. This is where our coordination slash release LN pick.
Yes.
LN release means it just tests your LN release. You know,
Just like
not
what
too
it said.
complicated. But yeah, it is gonna be the first layer. Let's go. I love the song.
We can start.
This song is rather calm, but you look at these LNs. They are 185 1/8 LNs. So this means it's 170 BPM. It's 170 BPM 1/4. So it's what we call schlongs, which is also just short LNs all the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is what it's called.
Very good name. Short LN. And we're moving on to the longer LN.
Yeah, it's just like you can see the LN releases in these doubles.
Yeah, quite a few of different hand releases where the left hand might release early and then the right hand might release later.
Yeah, that's quite tough for L1 release map. Like, you need to expect that L1 releases are generally not that easy to hit, even for higher level. Like, even like me as a 4-digit or a 4-digit D ranker, even 4-digits find these kind of L1s quite interesting and annoying to hit, I would say. Especially for those who don't really train L1 release. But right now you have your experience to train L1 release now. Congratulations.
Especially for Scorpio 2. Scorpio 2 I find is a little bit more difficult
Yeah,
for
for
LN.
sure.
I'm not sure why, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the players know this by now.
One reason why Scorpio 2 is more difficult is probably because of the fact that releasing itself is its own judgment, while Scorpio 1 it counts both. So like if you don't release well on Scorpio 1, you might be compensated by hitting the note correctly. But on Scorpio 2 it's on its own. Like if you release well, you release well. If you don't release well, you might get a bad judgment. But yeah.
That's our LN release pick or pool. Moving on to the second LN. Now there's two LN.
This is our LN2, which is Bath Mermaid. This is
Light
our
density,
so-called light density.
quote unquote.
Like
It's hard to find light density in this skill level, to be fair, but this is the best we can find.
yep. 1.7 star, only 6.7 only. Same as LN1, this map's under 2 minutes. So yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Can we start? Okay.
Rise and fall, silver moon, tidy, erase my footprints. Then I picked up broken scale stuff.
Very calm start. Some simple LNs with rice notes actually. But of course we are gonna move on to the LNs very soon. And here we go.
It's more, how do you call it when you need to hold more than one LN in each fingers? Yeah, it's that kind of density.
You need to hold LN while you are holding another column.
Yep.
This is there's a lot more rice compared to LN1, but of course the main difficulty is still these LNs. Look at that. That was a shenanigans. That was a big LN shenanigan, I would say. A lot of these awkward releasing, definitely not comfortable for players, especially for the players in this rank range. Like 5 digits, 6 digits, this is quite tough to understand to release, I would say.
Yeah, I would see this and the other LN being a very famous ban or a protect actually if they think this is a good strategy to use against their opponents. Especially with that pattern. Ooh.
A lot of these like LN with LNs in the mid, like one long LN and then there's some smaller LNs in the way. Like, I guess this is how we kind of call it a light density.
Yeah. Very light but not easy. The word light doesn't mean that.
You still need to be very careful at releasing those LNs, or else your accuracy is dead, or even you might find a miss for forgetting to release. In Score 2, if you don't release a LN for too long, you will miss it. For V1, you just get a 100, but for V2, you get a miss directly. Yeah.
Not a good.
Don't worry, there's only 2 LNs. If you hate LN, that's basically it, except Hybrid is also quite LN heavy. So let's go on to Hybrid 1.
Don't spoil it yet. Right, we're moving on to the hybrid pick. This is hybrid 1. Okay, so we have a bit of a format change for hybrid. Now we're moving on to the stream hybrid. No more rice bias. We're moving on to the specific of the rice skill set, which is stream in this case.
Yeah. I think in more mid-game to late-game maps now, we can find diversity in terms of the patterning. So like we can determine stream and jack and tech and stuff now. So let's go on to our hybrid 1 Lucid, map by Critical Star. This one is 175 BPM 2.8 star, only 7.5. Again, not too long, under 2 minutes again. But of course. And here we go. Welcome to Rice 2, everyone. It doesn't end. It does not end. It does not end. That stream lasted forever, bro. But we're gonna go into
to the actual hybrid section.
it's a slow part though, so like not too bad I would say. Here we go. Some of these notes and LNs combined together.
And we're moving back to the actual stream.
Honestly, this looks like our rice bias hybrid if you go back to round of 16, but of course this is like the amount of streams in this map is diabolical.
True.
In terms of LNs, there's actually not that much LNs in this map. So like if you're an LN player, don't really consider pick this as your first choice, because the main difficulty is definitely in these rice maps, rice streams.
Yeah. A bit too many LN to put in rice, but maybe not enough LN to be called hybrid, but still pretty hybrid-ish.
Yeah, that is gonna be our hybrid 1 Lucid. You can kind of say that this is a rice bias hybrid, but you can call it whatever you want. But let's move on to our jack hybrid now. This is where we have
Hybrid
jacks
2.
in hybrid, which is golden hour.
Also a very long map, 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
You need to understand that the later we enter in terms of rounds, the longer the maps usually are, I would say. Like the 3-minute amount of 3-minute maps in this pick are in this pool is gonna be, you can see a lot of them, I would say. Let's go.
All right, we can start.
Just start. Star rating is actually a little bit lower, but of course, again, the length is what makes this difficult. But this map is actually not that much easier in terms of density.
Especially if you're not very comfortable with hitting rice while holding an LN. It's the main difficulty of this map.
Yeah. Like, look at these LNs for vocal, and then there's gonna be a lot of these long LNs for vocal, and then there's gonna be notes at the side.
To accompany the piano sound.
Here we go. In the first ski, we are gonna see a world's longest LN. Like, look at that little burst, little grace, little kind of thing. Like, those little bursts are not easy to hit for sure.
The hardest thing about this map is definitely to not release early or to not forget you're still holding an LN, I would assume.
Yeah, it's like actually really annoying trying to focus on hitting the rice while holding, and then you just forget that you're still holding the LN.
Yeah.
And here back to these LNs for fast vocals into some of these little mini jacks kind of thing. But like it's just vocals and then rice. It's basically the entire map.
Pretty straightforward, but again, 3 minutes is not really the easiest thing ever. I believe this is the longest map besides the tiebreaker. I think yeah, it is.
We're only 2/3 of the way in. We are in the second Ki now. Like again, we are seeing more LNs in the way now.
Be careful in that part, or the later part. It's very consistent.
Here we go. They're seeing more jacks in this part, like the mini jacks with some bursts here and there. Really scary map to combo and try to get consistent act.
Map is kind of evil actually. The length is 3.5 minutes and it gets progressively harder.
Like these like little, I would say thump notes, but small graces, slow graces thing. But we're back to violin sounds for Ellen and then just notes. You know, notes. Yeah. This is a rather calm ending, and we're gonna have a long outro actually.
Only singles. I don't think it'll be a problem to anyone.
Just remember that you're still playing.
Yeah, don't forget to press.
And that last few notes, and that is golden hour.
Hybrid 2 or Hybrid 2 pick.
Yeah. Moving on to Hybrid 3 now. That is going to be our LN bias. Our LN bias is still here. Don't worry.
I know you guys love LN. Okay, drops. Alright, I think we can start now.
We have a drops. We have 2.44 star only. But of course, LN bias expect star rating to be a little bit lower, but the map is going to be just as hard.
Has more LN now. The LN bias is very biased.
Yeah, more LNs compared to the previous two. you can see some of those LN kind of LN complex LN things that you saw in LN1 or LN2. Of course, it's not as severe as LN2, but you can notice them.
A lot of short LN connecting to a longer LN might pose a problem about the release and hold, especially that type of LN.
And here we go. This is like first KI. We just saw that interesting LN dump kind of thing. Like those LNs are what's making this map really tough to get good accuracy on. Like those releases, if you're not careful, that is your act gone. Like 200s, 100s, or even misses can happen in any of these parts. And yeah, this map is also a little bit long, 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
3 minutes.
So like,
wow.
holding these kind of LNs for almost 3 minutes is not easy in my opinion.
Yes.
Like look at this, the whole LN section now.
It's a double LN now. Yes, the jump is definitely very noticeable.
Like the amount of LNs in this map is quite insane. Look at that, that was another LN release thing. And here we go, final drop. It's basically the same as the first guy. The LNs like you would see in LN2 is also here as well.
Stacking LN.
Nothing too special about this map. Some of those, again, some more LNs, I guess. Like, yeah, it's just LN heaven. For the Rice players, this map's definitely scary. And for the LN players, this is a good
It's
choice
scary,
to pick.
actually. But
Yeah,
definitely not
it's
approachable.
every map is scary.
Right.
That is our LN bias hybrid free. Drops, feat such. By around that. Okay.
Hybrid 4, our tech hybrid pick. Raputa, or I don't know how to pronounce that.
Raputa. This is our tech hybrid. If you know the song, this is definitely a perfect song for a tech map.
Yep.
If you know the song in the middle, there's the impossible faster sound in the middle.
Oh my god! Raputa!
Just start.
Yeah, we can start.
Like, if you know the song, this song is gonna be quite the song to play on. 230 BPM, but the BPM actually changes throughout the map, especially at the ending.
Very scary map, actually.
You can see some of those LN, complex LNs too, with some streams now. And a little break with some these LN releases kind of thing that you did see in LN1. This map's basically a mix of LN1, LN2, and hybrid. Maybe hybrid 2, maybe hybrid 3, I don't know.
I mean, you can even call this a mixed hybrid if you want. Very techy mixed hybrid.
Like, a lot of L into this part, into some of these jacks, but here we go, here's the BPM increase.
Ramping up.
And here's the final part, and then we have... Yep. But that is gonna be a long break, actually. Like, these stairs, I guess.
More of a Jack plus LN part.
This side is quite LN heavy as well. Some of those short LNs are also quite difficult. And
Yeah.
like, definitely need to be careful. We're into a little bit of a more ricey section. Never mind, we just saw LN burst.
Map definitely has a lot of rice only and LN only section.
You just saw a long anchor of LN there. And this is just the second one. Like,
We're moving.
final ending is gonna be quite tough too. Like, these small LNs, some of these streams mixed up together. 2.7 star is definitely fake. And here we go, the final BPM increase part.
Never trust LN, tech map star rating.
Here we go. Here we go. But because of the difficulty, this map is actually not that difficult in terms of the ending or the ending, but
It's
you still
alright.
need to be careful of the BPM increase. And that is gonna be our Rapids Hybrid 4.
Hybrid 4. We only have 4 hybrid now. We can move on to
TB hype.
our tiebreaker. And again, a massive jump to 3.35 star. Our first official 3
We
star.
have a Mimi song, Lapis Lazuli.
Maybe.
This is a rather short TB actually. Just start, please. Like, can you just start? Like, come on.
But he's
This is a very short TB, I would say. 3 minutes and 40 seconds is like not your standard tiebreaker length, but it's still
I think
long.
it's only 20 seconds longer than our longest map here, which is not that much of a difference.
But yeah, we already see 95 BPM jacks here into some 190 BPM stream bursts.
And a very scary pattern there.
Like 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Like, a little short, I'll be honest. But you can see some LNs here and there now. This TB is gonna be more of a hybrid map in general.
But the star rating now, it's a decent jump up from our highest star rating pick from this map pool.
For sure, yeah. In the first Kia, you can see some of these rice streams and rice stream bursts into some jacks too. Like, this is what's making the map really quite intense and not easy to hit at all. Your accuracy, your combo needs to be really careful as you hit the nodes in this map.
Yep, going on to the break section.
A very like, I can see some players getting skill capped on this map already, especially of the more lower seats. This map is definitely not an easy one. 3.35 star, let me remind you. It's scary in both star rating and the patterning.
And I don't think the shorter tiebreaker lane compared to other maps will be a problem considering how hard it is.
Like, because like the vocal is also quite fast too. So like the LNs, you can definitely see them being alive there. It's not just a decoration LN. But we're into more of a rice part now. Some jacks here and there. So like, need to be careful of that.
This is a transition into the last part, I believe.
47.5 is not too high, but it's not low at all. We are gonna approach to the final Ki very soon.
Here for the Ki.
After that burst, it is gonna go into the final part. And here we go. This is where the density comes up, actually. Like, look
Yeah.
at this.
The song ramps up during the end.
Like, there's so many triples in that final key in the final part. So like, I can see a lot of misses and a lot of accuracy drops from that, especially when you're a little bit skill capped. And like, this ending is also not easy at all. You can recall these patterns in Usagi Flat or in other hybrid maps. Like, these streams and jacks are what's making the map really, really difficult. And that is going to be our tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Lapis Lazuli, mapped by Bizarre.
All right. That's all we have for quarterfinal.
For sure. We are entering the mid game now. So like, the maps are definitely a whole new level more difficult.
And this is the first stage of a difficulty increase. So compared to round of 16, it is much, much harder.
For sure. But only expect maps to be more difficult in semifinals and so on. But yeah, that is basically our Mappool showcase. Remember, the players in the losers bracket, you still have to play 2 matches. The conditional
And
one is still there.
preferably the first match should happen a day or at least a couple hours before the second match. So don't reschedule after the second
You can
match.
also actually choose to reschedule to Friday, if
Yeah, that
if
is
you want
possible.
to.
Both
I haven't seen
Friday
players
and
done that
Monday
actually. Like,
is technically possible.
even if you want to play a first day, we won't really mind. But nonetheless, that is
Yeah, I guess.
basically it. Just want to remind you guys, if you are trying to, please check Discord regularly to, you know, check if there's a reschedule request from your opponent. And if you want to reschedule your first match, make sure to reschedule it before any of your conditional matches. So like, for example, if your conditional match is at earliest Sunday 6 UTC, then you can't reschedule your first match anytime after 5 UTC of Sunday. That's the rule that we set, I guess. So
I guess
that is.
unless your second matches, I guess unless you also reschedule your second matches to later, I guess that's possible.
Unless you do that, but of course that's more tedious, so unless you have a special reason, I don't really recommend that. But that is basically it. More details and announcements later, more details in, I think the schedule will be out in the main sheet in a bit, maybe in like an hour or two, I don't know. But that is
Don't forget to
basically
check
it.
main sheet. Don't forget, that's where the schedules are. A lot of players still forgot to check, actually.
We do not want any more no-shows like there was in round of 16. There was a lot of auto FF matches happen in round of
There's a
16,
bit
and you know, it's
more than
unfortunate.
round of 32.
But
Alright, I guess that's all.
yeah, that is really it. My name is B. With me is Envily. That will be that's it.
Alright,
And
see you.
best of luck to the players,
Goodbye.
and goodbye.